Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a message that we received. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world. The message, it reads like this. Hello, Brother Nanshi, how are you? Please post my story as anonymous. I am a South African woman and I want you to help me. There is one Sangoma who told me the truth about my situation. He said, young woman, I do not even want to eat your money for mahala because there is a Tokoloshe that he said is standing in front of my womb. When I sleep with a man, when that man's sperms is going to my womb, that Tokoloshe will open its mouth and it will swallow all of his seed. That is why I am struggling to fall pregnant and I wish for a baby. I do not want to die being called a barren woman, but there is a Tokoloshe that is guarding my womb. Rather, let people say that I deserve this, and truly speaking, I deserve this, and I believe that karma, it is for real, and it knows your address. One way or the other, it is going to find you. I am a woman, South African woman, that is aged 33 years old. I am childless. I am tired because I am running from church to Sangoma, and people, they do not even know what happened. Back then, it was in the year 2013. My best friend Lindim was always the lucky one. We met in high school in Soweto. By the time that we turned 21, she was living already in a gated estate in Senton. She had been dating a Nigerian man since we were in matric. I used to laugh at him and I was like, you are dating Nigerians. And even though she was being given money, but I said, these Nigerians, they are going to kill you one day. So I just thought that maybe they were just going to sleep with him and they would just dump her like that. But she told me that this Nigerian wanted to marry her, and I was like, she is joking. She does not even know what she is talking about. I was surprised, Brother Nashi, that after matric, when we were in college, that was when I discovered that she had gotten married to her Nigerian man. By then, I had moved to another province. I had been taken by my dad, who took me to Limpopo because my dad was Pedim. He has since passed away. He was eaten by a Tokoloshe that belonged to his sister, and she was the one who encouraged me to steal Lindy's husband. I had been staying in Limpopo after matric and I was going to college. When I returned back to Gauteng for holidays to be with my mom and her relatives, that was when I discovered that my friend was now staying in a gated estate in Senton, and she had been with her man that she had dated ever since she was still in matric. And I was like, yo, this girl, she is so lucky. So when I returned back to Limpopo, I was just speaking with my auntie, who was my dad's sister. By then, I did not know that she was a witch. So I was just giving her like your updates, things that had happened when I was in Gauteng, and I was telling him everything. So as we were talking, that was when she said to me, she wanted me to get married to that man because the way that I had been talking about him, it seemed as if I was in love with him. And she said to me, I know that when a woman keeps on talking about the same man, there are chances that you are in love with him. So I am going to give you things that will help you for this man to recognize you. I had this other wig that I had recently bought. It was very expensive. She then said that she was going to spend a night while she would have installed it. And she had this duck that she always wore when she was talking about her enemies. This was the time when I learned that she had the spirit of witchcraft. So she took that wig, got it installed by him, a dresser, and when she went to bed, she then called me and she said, I want you to come to my bedroom. I went to her bedroom, she was sitting by a dressing table, and she gave me the duke, and she said that I was supposed to wrap it around her head, and then she went to bed. The next morning, she gave it to me before the sun had risen up, and then she told me to get it installed when I was going to visit my friend at her house so that her husband can recognize me. There is no charm apart from that which I was given by my auntie. I came to Joburg. When I came to Joburg, I had already been communicating with my friend, and then I went to visit her. I was like, now I'm in Joburg. Can I come and see you? She was like, yes, I'm bored, because she was always at home alone with her son, who was still very young at that time. So I went to Senton and I got the wig installed on the morning that I came to visit her. When I arrived, her husband was around. He looked at me and he smiled, and he said that he wanted us to go out for a dinner date. This was a conversation that we had when my friend had gone to the bathroom, and I agreed, and I wrote my number on a piece of paper and I put it into his pockets, and we were laughing. When my friend returned back to the living room, she asked me why was I laughing and why was her husband laughing. And then we lied that the scene in the comedy that we had been watching, it was so funny. So we rewinded it, but no, we were not even laughing about the movie. It was because of the things that we had done, and we knew that we were going to sleep with each other. So I started dating this Nigerian guy. He was not a criminal. He owned a legitimate business, but he also had dirty power because he was selling some drugs in secret. And Lindy, she knew everything and she had everything. She had a nice car and she had money, and she was telling me that she was getting wife allowance every month from the money that she was given to buy the food for the upkeep of the house, and she was given 15K allowance. So I was now thinking, back in Limpopo, I was just a student with nothing, and jealousy entered into my heart already, and I wanted to experience a good life. I was no longer hating on Nigerians. I wanted this guy to marry me. I said, I'm not going to risk to start dating a Nigerian. Maybe I date a Nigerian who is not a family guy. Since the man that had married my friend, he had already proven it to me that he was a family guy. So then I said, I am going to get married to this guy, then we can be together. When we went for the dinner date, I seduced him. I was wearing clothes that were so revealing, and he kissed me. From the moment that he saw me, he said that you are the most beautiful woman like that I have ever seen in my life. I thought that I was winning. I did not even know that this man that I was dealing with, he was not only a businessman, but he also had a Tokoloshe that was protecting him in his drug business. My biggest trigger came when we went on a vacation. He took me on a vacation to Dubai, and we stayed in a 5-star hotel. When I saw the package that he bought, bro, Nash, he spent a lot of money. It was close to 200K because we spent a couple of days when we were in Dubai. I was still young, and I was now living the life that I was seeing on social media, and I was thinking about replacing Lindy, even though he was saying that he did not want to divorce her because their child was still very young. But I kept on pressuring him and telling him that I wanted him to dump my friend so that he can marry me. And he was like, please do not force me to do something, because this is my son. This is my own blood. You would not want me to do such a thing. Because of my auntie, I knew that once he was going to get married to me, there was no way that he was ever going to think about it, to ever think about dumping me. When we were in Dubai, Bronash, there was something that happened that I had never thought it existed. Even though my auntie had told me that she was a witch, I had never been prepared for the things that I saw when we were there in Dubai, me and my friend's husband. So At night, he sometimes would leave the hotel room. He would leave me alone for a few hours. And whenever he would leave me going to meet some of his business partners that he said were Nigerians from his own country, he would leave me alone in that massive suit. It was quiet and it was so scary. And when he would be with me, he would say, let us watch even a horror movie, which would make me to become more afraid whenever he would have left me all by myself. So one day I got up from the bed. I was bored. I walked towards this other mirror and I just wanted to fix myself because he said that he was going to come back in an hour's time and he wanted us to make love. So whilst I was there, that was when, Brother Nanshi, I saw something that I really do not even know how to explain it. I saw it was standing behind me. I was seeing a shadow that was standing behind me as I was looking into the mirror. It was a Tokoloshe. I saw its red eyes and it was like glowing. The eyes were glowing and there was smoke that was surrounding this Tokoloshe. So when I saw this Tokoloshe, brother, I felt so scared. I had never been that much afraid in my entire life like the way that I got scared. I fell down, but surprisingly, when I woke up the next morning, he was not there. He did not come back, for the door was locked from the inside, and I had been placed neatly on top of the blankets on the bed. And this thing, or this Tokoloshe, had taken one blanket and then it placed it on top of me, but only covering my legs. I was totally naked. When I woke up, I looked between my legs and I saw that there were sperms that were coming out of my legs. It was something that was quite surprising because I had not slept with a man the previous night. How was this even possible? As I was wondering what had happened, that was when he called me and he told me that he was sorry that he could not come back the previous night because of other business stuff that he wanted to handle. He was going to come back, that he spent 2 days. I don't know where he was. I kept on being raped by this Tokoloshe that kept on coming back. Then we returned back to South Africa. He was giving me money until he finally dumped me and he said that he wanted to focus on his wife. Do you think that I was going to expose him to my friend? No ways, because I had been used by this Nigerian guy and he had returned back to his wife. I felt so stupid, like I had never felt before. Since that year, I've not been on my period ever since I returned back from Dubai. I went to a doctor with some of the money that he gave to me when we returned back from Dubai, and I was told that I was suffering from what they call premature ovarian failure, and it is impossible to fix. It cannot be fixed. So the truth, I know it. The Tokoloshe, the one that I saw when we were in Dubai, it is the one that has blocked my womb. Every man that I have dated since then has left me. Every time a man touches me, when I sleep with a man using condom, yeah, we can date, but the relationship won't be the same. If we stay together for a month or so without sleeping with each other, there is no problem. The moment that I have a man sleep with me, it is the end of the relationship. If we sleep using condom, we can still date, but you will see that the guy is no longer interested that much into me. It becomes worse, really worse. If it happens that this guy and we sleep with each other without using any protection at all, even on that same night, we can start to fight. I still remember this other guy that I gave a chance. This guy was not even of my class, and I said to myself, let me try to date a foreign guy. He was a man that stayed in the location where my mom is staying, and we started dating. I went to his place for a sleepover. It was on a Friday night. I was supposed to sleep with him until Sunday, but on that same Friday night, when we slept together, there was something that was just happening between us, like what we had been talking about on the phone, that we were going to make love, we were going to enjoy. I was not enjoying. His manhood was not as powerful as he claimed that it used to be powerful when he is sleeping with a woman. I was really disappointed because I really needed to be with a man that would give it to me like hell. So the next day, like, he was just quiet. He did not want to respond to me. And I said, yo, I'm in his room. Let me leave this guy. So I left him and I returned back to my mom's place. When I returned back, we started fighting like lovers on the phone. And then he told me that the reason as to why he was not having an erection throughout the night until he suggested that we sleep with each other without using any protection, it was because he had been feeling that there was something that was standing behind him when he was on top of me. When we slept, that was when he had a dream and he saw a Tokoloshe that was shouting at him and saying, "Leave my wife alone, otherwise I am going to kill you." And when he told me this, I just pretended as if he's crazy, but I knew that he was making sense about the things that he was talking about, because every guy that I have been with always tells me that he sees someone or something that will be standing behind him when we are having raw sex. So it is something that I have been struggling with. I am 33, childless. The soft life that I wanted, I only lived it for a short period of time. I am writing this to ask South African sangomas for help. Please, can you talk to the ancestors so that they can help me? Are you able to break this covenant? Brother Nasha, I am writing this for the other girls that might be out there. Do not lust for something that does not belong to you. Tokoloshes are for real. I should have just left my friend with a husband who owns a Tokoloshe. I am 33 years. I do not have love. I only sleep with men when we are drunk. I go out on a groove just looking for a man that can sleep with me. There is no man that wants to extend the relationship after we would have slept together. Please pray for me so that this contract can be broken. I am available in Joburg for anyone who is a sangoma that might be willing to assist me. There are several times when I keep on having dreams that I can't even understand. So these dreams that I do have, I can see myself being locked up in a coffin. This coffin, when I look, I then see that there are other several women that would be sleeping underneath me. 10 women. So I do not know if there are other girlfriends that this Nigerian guy has slept with and has used them for rituals. I have no way of knowing. I wanted to tell my friend about this, but she is someone that is okay. I did not want to make him to feel bad knowing that her husband and we had been sleeping together. So I chose to just keep quiet, and I said, if this Nigerian man used me for rituals, then it is okay. He used me for his rituals. My friend is not supposed to know. And I do not know if my friend knows if a husband is a ritualist. Maybe they are in this together. But if you are in this together with your husband, Lindy, you have a strong heart shame. And the fact that your husband is killing all of these women, don't you think that it is time for you to walk away from your marriage? If you know that your husband is a Tokoloshe, you are supposed to walk away, Lindy. He is going to send that Tokoloshe to you and you are going to die. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to us by one of our dear sister. Let us speak with our dear sister in the comment section. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world. She is saying, if there is anyone that is based in Joburg who might assist her to cancel this contract, because there is a Tokoloshe that follows her wherever she goes to, you can reach out to us on Facebook. Give us your Facebook link, profile link, then I send it to her inbox. Let us meet again in the following episode. Thank you very much to those that watch. comment as well as liking the videos. I read all the comments, even though sometimes I take some time to respond. I would be busy recording other episode for you guys. Let us meet again in the following episodes.